G'day YouTube, Video 29 back with you again, and welcome to the week 1 team builder, boys. It is time. I'm hyped, man. If you aren't hyped, there is something wrong with you. We have our first round 1 opponent, and it is Stab, otherwise known as Nolan, who is the coach of the Chicago Sacred Fire, and man, his team is scary. I'm dropping it right there. There you go. Enjoy. His team is pretty darn scary, and I was like, okay, how am I happy with this? I've made a team. I feel pretty good about it. I think it matches up pretty well. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. And I'm going to try and break down the method to this madness that was going on in my head. So basically, to kick things off, he has 2 incredibly terrifying setup sweepers. He has Mega Charizard X and he has Manaphy. And so they were the first 2 issues I addressed. I was like, okay, I need a Manaphy check, I need a Zard X check. So boom, Manaphy check is Swiss the Kyurem. So I decided to go with this set because Kyurem deals with Manaphy pretty darn well. The only thing I really have to worry about is Dazzling Gleam, but even modest Manaphy Dazzling Gleam doesn't kill me, and by that time he has to force himself into a Tail Glow. I can get off a lot of damage. I can deal with it. The basic job of Kyurem is not to let Manaphy set up too many times. Essentially, after 1 Dragon Tail, Manaphy gets put in the range where it dies to Electros's Volt Switch and Clefable's Moonblast, as well as like Sucker Punch Membor and stuff from Sizzle. So definitely just being able to get off that Dragon Tail is crucial damage enough. And if I can catch him before he even Tail Glows, I can fire off a Toxic as he tries to set up on me, and then fire off the Dragon Tail, and that'll be huge. That could be like match winning if that happens. But anyway, the reason I'm running 160 speed, which might be surprising to you, is that actually allows me to speed creep Tyrantrum. I feel Tyrantrum might be something he might bring. I actually expect maybe Tyrantrum and Zard X, which would be terrifying, but this will allow me to deal with Tyrantrum. If he is anything but Choice Scarfed, we can get off an Ice Beam and Tyrantrum's dead. It OHKOs. So that's the basic plan, is to, you know, get rid of Manaphy and also surprise his team. This thing can also actually deal with Whimsicott pretty nicely. It doesn't really deal with Klefki too well, but I have other things to annoy Klefki. But I feel like the main job of this thing is to check Manaphy and to surprise Tyrantrum. We come up next to, I guess, the Zard X and the Tyrantrum check all in one. Freaking defensive Slowbro, but check out this set. Check it. Tell me this isn't a good set. So I was like, okay, how do I check Charizard? Because the problem with Charizard was it has Dragon Dance. And because it has Dragon Dance, it means Charizard can effectively pretty much just like set up and do whatever the hell it wants. Slowbro can't really do too much to it with a special attacking version. You can maybe go for the Thunder Wave, but he can essentially just set up a sub and be like, lol, nice try, bro. So I decided to go with a Curse set, and you might be thinking, why the hell would you go with a Curse set? And basically the reason I went with the Curse set was because every time that he Dragon Dances, I can cancel out the Dragon Dance with a Curse and then seriously threaten his team. The EQ will do a ton to Raikou. Zen Headbutt does massive damage to things like Whimsicott. EQ blows away that Klefki. So then Slowbro becomes a bit of a threat to his team, and that's really cool. I like that. The main issue will be if Charizard gets up a DD and then I have to switch Slowbro in. So the plan is, I tried building this team designed in a way that Charizard could never get a free Dragon Dance. That if he was going to Dragon Dance, he was even taking some damage. So like with Kyurem, he either DDs or Outrages. He picks one, because I'm going to Dragon Tail him regardless. And then for the rest of the team, you'll see it kind of follows the same basic theme. Basically, the job of this Slowbro is to come in, take hits from Tyrantrum and Charizard X, and just ward them off with this really cool moveset. I really hope it works too. Next up, we have a guy that I initially wasn't going to bring, but I decided to bring him. I was going to bring Gliscor, but I decided to go with Kim Jong-il. And the main reason is because it gives me another switch into Manaphy. I can actually take a +3 modest Scald quite nice, or not quite nicely. It can take one and then fire off a Volt, which would be huge. It can Dragon Tail to stop setup mons. It can knock off, which is massive. It has Flamethrower for both Whimsicott and Klefki. And it can switch in pretty nicely on Klefki because it doesn't care about Thunder Wave. So that's pretty important for it. Again, Charizard can't really set up on this thing because I pack the Dragon Tail to nullify that. And I can also Dragon Tail at Manaphy, but honestly, I'd rather just Volt Switch for big damage. Eel is very important. I'll probably lead with it. It is my lead like 10 out of 10 times because my opponent really doesn't have much for it. Then we come to a really cool, I'm so excited to use John Cena again, or you don't know, boy, you don't know. And I'm firing off first week with a specially offensive Clefable set. I'm really excited with this one. Modest Life Orb is really terrifying for Stab. I expect him to expect me to bring Unaware Clef as the Charizard check. The reason why I'm not going to do that is because Charizard's Iron Tail does an absolute ton. So I'm going to predict that and bring Slowbra instead as my defensive wall. And this thing is going to be my big special attacking wall breaker. Fire Blast blows away half of his team, and Moonblast blows away the other half. I have Rocks to try and dent Zard if he brings it. I have Soft Boil to heal myself up if I need to. And this thing is going to be huge for my team. It can do some serious damage. From full health, it can live anything from a Tyrantrum, bar a Choice Banded Head Smash, which is okay. We can kind of deal with that when it comes, but anything else we can definitely deal with. So if Charizard locks us up in Outrage, if Tyrantrum locks us up in Outrage, this thing comes in and blows them back. This is doing like minimum 60% to Charizard X, which is really, really cool. It can definitely disrupt his walls, and I think he won't see it coming, which is the best part. Then we come to our other wall breaker, which is Life Orb Emboar. Now this thing is really terrifying because its array of attacks is really going to throw him off guard. What's also going to throw him off guard is the lack of Wild Charge, which he's probably going to expect to deal with Manaphy, but I decided instead to pack a Grass Knot. I decided to do this because negative special attack Grass Knot still OHKOs Rhyperior, which is probably going to be his only real check to Emboar if he does choose to bring one. If not, I can happily just click Flare Blitz and just blow things back. He could have Charizard as a switch in, but before Mega Evolving, Charizard is going to take a ton of damage, and Superpower still does a ton to Charizard X, so he's going to play that carefully. Sucker Punch is on there because it could get us a cheeky kill, but mainly the plan is just to go with Dual Stab, blowing things away, and the other two are just fillers if I need to use them. But this thing is another big wall breaker that hopefully can put in the work. And finally, our third Life Orb used in a row, because triple Life Orb is love, triple Life Orb is life orb. Get it? Anyway, we got Scarlet, the Scizor, running a really cool Life Orb. So I decided to bring Defog this week because I didn't really want Swiss getting too weakened, because I figured after Rocks, Swiss basically dies to a D-Gleam. I don't want to see that happen, so I'm bringing Defog just in case, and I figured then since I'm doing Life Orb, I want Roost. So I ended up just going with U-Turn and Bullet Punch. Hoping it doesn't come back to bite me. I really wanted Superpower to maybe deal with Setup Zard, but honestly, I'm pretty stoked to go with these two moves. U-Turn allows me to get out of a sticky situation like against Zard if I need to go into Slowbra. Bullet Punch is really good because that just allows me to pick off certain mons, like from, it takes out Tyrantrum, it'll take out Raikou after a bit of damage too, and it hurts Manaphy, so it's really clutch maybe at the end. Hopefully, we'll see. The main draw card of this is the powerful U-Turn. He doesn't really have a switch in for U-Turn, bar maybe like Klefki and Charizard, so if I can U-Turn out on them, I can go freely into like Emboar and other stuff and just blow them back. So it's going to be a very momentum shifting mod. What am I most afraid of? Charizard X, people. How can you not be afraid of that thing? If he DDs up, it has the ability to just annihilate my team. I need to play really, really smart against it if he brings it. And if he brings DD, Tyrantrum, I also have to be really, really careful against that monstrosity as well. He has a lot of threats and a lot of things that I have to be really careful when I face. But I think my basic win con in this battle is Emboar. Its ability to break through his team is phenomenal, as well as Clefable. I think we're just going to have to hope that maybe Slowbra can take the hits, and I'm hoping I don't regret the choice of bringing Kim Jong-il over Gliscor as another check to Tyrantrum and Charizard. Hopefully it can just get the job done by itself. But thank you guys so much for watching this team building video. I think we'll be able to get the job done with this, but fingers crossed, we'll have to wait and see. Make sure you smash out the like button. I would really appreciate your support. Make sure you also go subscribe to the channel. I don't upload that much stuff anymore, but I will upload all of these battles. I'll try and get some showdown sessions up and whatnot. This is kind of what I do now. I'm more of a team builder than a battler. I really enjoy doing team building. And also make sure that you leave comments, I believe is the other one. Yeah, leave comments. Let me know what you think is going to be the most important Pokemon, what Pokemon I maybe oversighted or didn't, look, or didn't think about when it came to building this team. And also let me know, most importantly, who you think is going to be my best Pokemon for this round. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a nice day. It's Views29, signing out!